First and foremost, I want to thank y'all for tuning into a spoon-fed podcast once again. It's been a little while since I dropped a video, but thank y'all for tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe, hit that subscribe button now. Let you know, because we're about to hit you with some gold right now. But before we begin, first and foremost, I'm Spoon, known as Spoon the Word. You can check me on Instagram. That'll be in the description box. And without a doubt, today's sponsor, as our sponsor most of the time, if not always, Splash Clothing. We got the beanies. It's cold outside. You know that nor'easter's about to hit. You better get bundled up. And you already know, Splash means some people love and some hate. Trademark. Don't try to copyright. Straight. We on point. That link to the website is also in the description box too. But let's get to it. Any other time you want to link me, that's in the description box. But let's get right to it. Today's topic: why some people don't show love and affection. This is very huge, man. This is because a lot of people don't know how to show love and affection. And people always ask, why? Why is that? I'm going to tell you why. Let's get straight to it. There's two main reasons, right? And let's simplify it. I usually like to simplify things. Let's not make it difficult. But the reason why some people don't show love and affection is because of their environment. Remember, nature versus nurture. Nature is outside in the atmosphere. You already know, outside the home. Nurture is what happens inside the home, especially with your family. And let's start with nurture first. Because nurture is pretty much how you are raised and reared as a child. Because remember, you learn how to love people, how to interact first through your mother and your father. I'm going to say that again. You learn how to love people and show affection by watching your mother and your father. Unfortunately, and I don't blame people for this, unfortunately, like everybody is not in a good position where they have a mother and a father in the home. So most of the times you had a single parent home. And that brings a broad spectrum of effect, because I see it on women and men, because they be like, yo, this person is mad cold and they feel like ice. And I can tell you why. When I was growing up, I'm telling you for personal experience, when I was like, yo, how do you treat a woman, whatever? I used to watch my mother and father. I'm like, oh, this is how, okay, when she feels this way, you give her comfort. You rub her back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's just those little things that seem like it's minute and small that makes a big difference. Because remember, when it comes to relationships, feelings and making a person feel welcome is important. You know what I'm saying? It's not just the actions that you do. It's the words. It's how you say it and how you portray it. You see what I'm saying? Like, say if, like when my mother was going through something hard sometimes, like a bad time, or whether it's my father going through something bad, my mother or my father would console the other one. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, tell me what's wrong, speak to me, and they'll try to make it as good as possible at the time. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be perfect, but I say that to say this. You learn this mechanism from the home, and sometimes you don't have both parents to see that, especially like when they're actually having fun and, oh yeah, let's hug up and kiss and all this other stuff. And you learn that at home first, period. And especially how you interact with your individuals in the home, meaning like your siblings, and how did your parents coerce that? To say if you had differences, your parents supposed to show you conflict resolution. Most of us, we didn't get that, especially when it comes to relationships. We didn't have conflict resolution. We just know how to fight it out and, oh, let's battle it out. Oh, we're going to talk until we get to the point. No, most people, they don't show love and affection because of this. You see what I'm saying? Because instead of it being a loving environment, it's a survival environment, meaning that if it's a one-parent household, usually it's the mother that's single, and sometimes it could be the father. But if you have the father, you're going to have more guidance, because guys is more leaders and protectors. You know what I'm saying? Women are nurturers and bearers of the children and try to protect them in that way, nurture them. You see what I'm saying? But that's one of the main reasons, because the family dynamic is off in the home. That's number one. Number two, let's get to nature. You are mostly affected by your outside reality, meaning outside in nature, like You might get the values and morals in the home, but you're more molded by the outside world, meaning you want camaraderie and everything. But don't get it twisted. You could get trauma in the outside environment, in nature, and you could also get trauma inside the home. I'm going to speak about that next, but check this out. In an environment, how you deal with people, friends, people that you come across that you might have a crush on or you may love, this also shows you how to interact and it deals with trauma. Remember, you mature two ways: through trauma, which is pain, and longevity, time. And usually trauma is instant. And sometimes you get a good reaction, and it depends on the person as well. Because how many times, especially as a man, has you talked to a woman that you like and they played you like bad? It's like, oh. Sometimes that leaves a negative effect on people, especially if they were dating them. So if they were dating them, whether there was a man or a woman, sometimes the trauma caused that person to say, you know what? I don't care about the dating game no more. Like, I'm just going to be cold. And sometimes people create monsters, meaning I was almost one of those monsters, because it's like you put your heart out there so many times and people just like, they crush it. And it's like, yo, why am I putting myself out there? Nah, I'm going to treat you how you treat me. And this is why a lot of people don't show love, because they're afraid of getting hurt. That's one of the main reasons. And that's through trauma. And I'm going to double back, spin the block. And when I mean spin the block, I'm going to go back to nurture for a second. Because even in the household, you could get trauma as well as that, because you could show some of your family members love and they could be shun you. They could be going through something and they could just shun you and not want to be around you. You'd be like, yo, what did I do? And then this make you feel like something's wrong with you, and it's not. And then you learn this cold mentality, and then you pass this on to other people, even when you're in a relationship with them. And they be like, yo, why are you so cold? I was made like this. And sometimes you're not even conscious why you're like this. But that's one of the main reasons. And even when it comes to strangers, like some strangers you could approach some strangers, especially at a young age. When you learn this side at a young age, especially how to interact and talk and how to deal with personal issues and deal with social events. But certain times, people do not know how to communicate. And sometimes you could be communicating the best way you can, but the other person's not communicating. Just like I said, something in their life is not adding right, whether they don't have a father in the home, or they're a single parent in the home, or they just didn't get enough hugs while they was in the home. Because sometimes it could be just that. Because the mother is trying to survive so much that she's just trying to get enough money to put a roof over your head. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh yeah, they know I love them. Because ask yourself this: how many times did your parent tell you, I love you? And that's a big factor as well. When somebody doesn't tell you, I love you, and remind you like, hey, I love you, it could just quickly go over somebody's head and they don't even realize like, yo, am I loved? And they go face the world with, I don't know about love. Man, love is, you know what I'm saying? And this is what the world's going through now. They don't know how to love, but they know how to hate. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, love is more powerful than hate. But the thing is, a lot of people don't love themselves. That's the problem too. So you have to, the main solution is with this, you have to love yourself first. Understand what's going on in the household. And if you realize that, I know for young kids it's going to be hard. If you realize if you don't get enough hugs, or you don't get affirmation that somebody loves you, that could do something to you. Trauma. It will make you distance from love. Because a lot of people, when you show them love, they get, what is this? They're not used to it. You see what I'm saying? It's foreign to them. They're used to aggressive and cold shoulders. So you have to understand this is being taught to us on different scales, outside the home and inside the home. So the main focus is, especially if you're older now, the main focus is, especially if you're with somebody that you trust, you have to open up to them just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Piece by piece. Make daily steps to improve. That's what life is about, improving. So make steps to improve, to open up to the people that you love, to show love and affection, so you won't keep this pattern going. Because this is a pattern. Because I'm seeing a lot colder people out there now. And I'm like, I look at their house and I'm like, I see where it comes from. But take this to the bank. Like, subscribe, comment, and tell me what you think. Share this with a friend, especially if they know they're cold. Or you share it with a spouse or a hubby or somebody special to you. Because this is serious out here, man. Take heed for warning. Check me out on Instagram. Check me out on YouTube. Like, subscribe. Much love, y'all.